Welcome to the final episode of The Capitolist in 2017. We are bidding the year goodbye and in some cases, good riddance. But we're also looking forward to what 2018 has in store. Did you have a good Christmas, Anne?
I did.
You did? Did you get any good loot?
Always good loot. So, I mean, it's a very generous time of year, and my friends and family and loved ones took care of me, so...
I got a karaoke machine.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Has your family heard you sing?
Mr. Politician and frivolous lawsuit lawyer guy.
They've seen the show.
Oh, okay.
Do you have any New Year's resolutions?
Actually, you and I have one that we're going to start. I'm going to start.
I don't want to say it on camera. I don't want to be held to it.
Started a little bit earlier than you, but we're doing the keto diet.
I want to be able to abandon my keto diet.
No, we're not going to abandon it. We're going to do this.
Yes, the doctor says I got to lose 20 pounds, but I have him fooled because I really have to lose about 40. But people don't watch the show to see me make jokes about my fat. They want to see me make fun of powerful political officials, and that's what we're going to do today.
Is there a difference?
With that in mind, I have a few suggested New Year's resolutions for some people. We've got ours, and I'm going to give some people their New Year's resolutions.
Oh, you're going to help
It's for
some
people
folks
that
out.
we all love
Okay.
or hate,
Yeah.
as the case may be.
Or maybe just like or dislike. Maybe
Sure.
it's not that powerful.
It's all
of an
love,
emotion.
really, here.
Yeah.
Let's start with the presumptive Republican nominee for governor, Adam Putnam. Your New Year's resolution should be to get a different haircut so that people can tell the difference between you and Bob Graham's daughter.
Wow, you mean Gwen Graham.
Speaking of Bob Graham's daughter,
Gwen Graham.
please resolve to have no more interactions with animals in 2018.
I'm going to have to agree with that one. But it's Gwen Graham. I agree. Less animals.
All right, I know you're not going to like this. This is just as a disclaimer. This is not Anne's joke. It's mine. Andrew Gillum, your resolution.
Oh.
Do a little bit of homework before you go on a business trip with a guy that you barely know who looks like Johnny Utah from Point Break.
I am an FBI agent.
I know, man. Isn't it wild?
You okay with that? I loved Point Break. It was a classic.
Everyone
movie.
loves Point Break.
Yes. So anyway, I'm sorry. I apologize.
I didn't see the new
And
one.
I apologize to Kevin K too. I know he's your guy. Had to do it. Anyway, the New Year's resolution for Richard Corcoran. Find a West Coast rapper to pick on. You've got some mileage out of Pitbull, yes. But I'm old school. And back in my day, you don't throw hands at your East Coast homies, bro.
East Coast
East
should never
Coast.
start beef with East Coast.
That's right. Word. Joe Negron. Look at me. Prove Frank Artilles wrong. There are many over-the-counter products you can afford. No one has to know. Just go to CVS. What's the matter? Did I go too far this time? Fine. I'll do the last one without you.
Okay.
Last but not least, Rick Scott. Most New Year's resolutions are to quit bad habits. But Governor, you are so boring and vanilla.
Wow.
You need to pick. I know, I love him. Come on, he's my old boss. I love the guy. But come on, pick up a couple of bad habits, some vices. I recommend doing what I did, gain some weight. And also maybe pick up a smoking habit. He looks kind of like Winston Churchill.
Oh, my goodness.
It works for him. It could work. It could work.
I feel like even those are bad habits, they might work for Rick Scott.
Could. It worked for Winston Churchill. It works for Rick Scott. It could.
Maybe.
Could. Anyway, I think I'm on to something with these resolutions. I think when it's cooking, it's cooking. But you know what else is cooking?
Tell me.
We've got the 2018 legislative session coming up.
Yep.
And it starts in just less than 2 weeks. And so in a few minutes, we're going to have Chris Dudley from Southern Strategy Group and Katie Webb, our good friend, from Kalani Fast, both joining me to disavow all of these previous jokes and tell us what we can expect to see in the opening days of the legislative session. We'll be right back after this.
Axio Salt Spa and Juice Bar is the perfect place to begin a new you. Start with the Salt Room experience with Himalayan salt infusion to leave the stress behind. And move to the Salt Chamber to take your reliefs to the next level. We offer massage and facials as well as a complete line of Eminence products to treat your skin. Finish your treatment with an organic juice or smoothie from our juice bar. Axio Salt Spa and Juice Bar, the perfect place to get your relief from the inside out.
Every morning the sun rises in our fair city. A while later, Chris, the late riser, wakens for a day of work.
and involvement in FSU and community, serving Tallahassee as he has for years. Across town, Brother Peter, the early riser, has already turned on the lights, checked itineraries, and game planned with loyal employees who've been showing up every day for decades. And as the day rolls into business mode, the brothers orchestrate what has come to be recognized as Tallahassee's premier auto dealership, your car dealer, Kraft Nissan.
Cabela's Salon and Spa is your best option for hair care, but it's also the best option for body care with a luxurious massage with our certified and licensed massage professional, Tracy. Come to Cabela's and enjoy a relaxing experience that increases blood flow and circulation, flexibility, helps with mood, and improves sleep patterns and hormone levels. Sessions can be tailored to avoid or focus on specific areas. You belong at Cabela's.
Welcome back to The Capitolist, and we are very close to the beginning of the 2018 legislative session. Joining me to talk about that and what might be on the agenda is Katie Webb from Colodny Fast and Chris Dudley from Southern Strategy Group. So I want to ask you guys, I know it's hard to predict, we're still a little ways out, but there are going to be some things that move quickly in the House and the Senate, and I wanted to get your thoughts. What crystal ball, just predict. You don't have, it's okay if you're wrong, but I think you guys probably have some idea of what might move first in the House and Senate.
Right. So I think what we've consistently been hearing from the folks in the House is legislation that they passed last year. They intend to pass very quickly this year and send to the Senate early. So I think, for example, I work on a lot of insurance issues. So last year, the House passed a repeal of personal injury protection insurance, as well as some additional parameters around a legal mechanism called assignment of benefits.
Right.
And each of those bills have been heard in their one committee of reference in the House. They're ready for the House floor, and we have been told to be prepared to see them get sent over to the Senate very quickly. Those are just two that I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah. The Speaker, who knows the process well, very policy oriented. I mean, he has moved his priorities through, as Katie kind of articulated. They're kind of ready to go. I mean, the Speaker's going to pass those out in the first week. I think on the Senate side, President Negron's big issues have always been higher ed, and the higher ed bill, of course, got vetoed by the governor. So he is back with that, and I think you'll see that move early, and you'll see these insurance reforms move in the first week as well.
So who do you think, it's hard to say, but if you had to predict, I want to do more of this sort of who's the big winner of this opening week of the session and who's the loser. But heading into this thing, who's sort of who's got the advantage, who's got the high ground going in? And of course we can say the Speaker and the Senate President, but if you had to name somebody, who's sort of the presumed winner going into legislative session for the House and the Senate? Do you guys have anybody that comes to mind?
Well, I would say the Speaker would be my pick.
I tried to take it away, but yeah, he does have the sort of the higher hand right now over the Senate, just because the Senate's got some admin things they've got to deal with. We don't have to get into that right now, but yeah, I think right now he's got he's the prime mover, I would say, just because he's got a clean shot at the legislative slate, while the Senate has some other things they've got to deal with first.
Correct, and I think to the point that Chris made earlier, he has positioned his. I don't know that I would necessarily call them priorities, but issues that he's supportive of, he's positioned them right now in a way to where that chamber's ready to take them up and move them out very quickly. And they're pretty much, I think, as he wants them. I don't think there's a lot of changes that he's looking forward to making those. So I would say in the first week, he is probably going to have a lot of progress on the things that he wants to see pass and send them over to the Senate and then see how the Senate responds.
Okay.
I mean, agree with Katie on the Speaker. I would also say Rob Bradley is going to really emerge as kind of a winner, not in just week one, but in the 8 weeks that follow. I mean, he is taken over the helm of Senate Appropriations. We're going to have two new appropriations chairmen in both sides, with Trujillo leaving. And Bradley's a remarkably smart guy. He is probably being teed up to be the appropriations chairman for 2 years under Galvano.
What's the difference, would you say, between him and say Senator Latval in terms of the way they operate? Are they similar, or are there some significant style differences?
Very different, I think. I mean, Jack is just a creature of the process. He knows it well.
He's been here for so long.
Yeah, and he he likes all the moving parts and pieces. I mean, this is what he does 24/7, and he kind of likes to move those chess pieces around. I think Chairman Bradley he's busy. He's got a business back home to run and a young family, so he is, he's going to have to take a lot more kind of black and white approach to the appropriations process, and he's got a lot to learn. He's fairly new in the legislature, and it's an $85 billion budget, so he's got a lot to learn still.
Okay. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Located in Midtown Tallahassee, Bella Bella Italian Restaurant is where you'll find delicious, authentic Italian food at an amazing price, served with impeccable attention while enjoying a unique, found only in Tallahassee ambiance. Every day, customers enjoy Bella Bella's signature appetizer, bubble bread, followed by one-of-a-kind specialties or a longtime favorite crafted only at Bella Bella. A Tallahassee landmark, Bella Bella is a family-owned and run business focused on traditional values with the highest standards. Come enjoy lunch, dinner, or the best happy hour in Tallahassee. At Bella Bella, we live up to our name and make sure your visit is truly one of beauty.
Whether you're building a new home or remodeling your current home, at Brian Barnard's Flooring America, we can help you achieve the look you want at the prices the box stores can't compete with. For hardwood, carpet, tile, and rugs, for any area in your home, we'll take your design ideas and turn them into reality. From all the floors in your home to the walls in the kitchen and bath, we have the right products at the right price with exceptional service and installation. Brian Barnard's Flooring America, where friends send friends.
And we're back, and I want to touch briefly on sort of this looming 2018 election cycle. We've got Speaker Corcoran still heavily rumored to be running for governor. There's folks who say he won't run for anything if he doesn't run for that. Does it behoove him to get out of session on time, or is there some advantage to if for whatever reason the process gets derailed? Katie, what do you think? Does he want session to end on time?
I think that everybody wants session to end on
Sure
time.
They do. We all do.
Because the sooner they get out, the quicker they can get into fundraising. Notwithstanding the fact that extensions of sessions or special sessions are expensive to taxpayers, and that's usually not popular in the media. So
he needs to do fundraising. I mean, if you're going to run for governor, you need money, and so that's one thing that he's going to need to do. There's no question about that. So I agree with you. I think he's going to want to do that and get to it as quickly as possible. I don't know that he's precluded, though. I know he's probably precluded during session from him going out and asking, but I'm not sure that he's precluded from, or that his PAC is precluded from accepting checks, right? Is that fair?
Is. Yeah.
It totally is. He has to close it down?
Yeah.
Because
No.
I've heard rumors. He can not close it down, but rather shut the doors and stop accepting money coming in. You're telling me others couldn't solicit on his behalf?
Not during session. I don't think he can make any deposits.
So he's definitely going to want it to end on time, just because I feel like if he's going to make a serious run for governor, he's going to need those dollars. So I think maybe, as you said before the break, he's going to hit the ground running in this opening week. And there's a good reason for him to do so, because he can accomplish a lot of things early and make sure that his priorities are met on time. Chris, any thoughts on that? I mean, is that am I hitting it right?
No, you are. I mean, we've talked about this before. I mean, the 2018 ballot is going to be lengthy, and so you have a U.S. Senate race and governor, 3 other statewide elected officials, 120 members of the House, half the Senate, and at this point, who knows how many constitutional amendments?
Right, with the Constitution Revision Commission.
I do think they get out on time, and the noise is going to be loud for everybody, and raising money is going to be tough. So I think the quicker they can get to that, the better.
Does he run for governor?
Yes, I think so. My prediction is yes.
Yeah, I think he does too.
So does Ron DeSantis run for governor? He's out there, congressman. He's out there rattling sabers. They're both sort of in the same boat money-wise. I mean, I think Corcoran has an advantage at this point, but not a huge advantage.
I'll disagree with Chris on this one. I think DeSantis gets in.
And who does it benefit? I think
Adam Putnam.
Benefits Putnam. I think I agree with that just because I think they're both running for the same lane. Chris, you agree?
Yeah, if he gets in, it does, but I don't.
If you don't think he will, fair enough. Well, it's going to be fascinating, you guys. We'll keep coming back to you over this as this session gets underway and we start having developments. We're going to continue to rely on your expertise. Thank you very much for joining us today, and we'll be right back after this.
At Budget Blinds, we're in business to frame the light, the day, and the night. So we give you an exclusive combination of high style, expert service, our no surprises pricing, and our no questions asked warranty. We believe that everyone, at every budget, deserves style and service. Isn't that a beautiful place to be?
At Cabela's Salon and Spa, we love clients like you. Cabela's has the most talented beauty industry professionals in Midtown Tallahassee. Ranked as one of the most popular salon and spas, Cabela's combines an elegant environment with warm and welcoming customer service. Cabela's is known for impeccable hair care expertise, from innovative cutting techniques to the latest trends for color. Cabela's is the place to go for Halo Couture hair extensions and luxurious Brazilian blowout treatments. All of our stylists are highly trained, creative, and committed to understanding the needs and desires of our clients with a focus on maintaining the integrity of your hair. As a full-service salon and spa, Cabela's offers luxurious manicures and pedicures and waxing services, as well as eyelash extensions, microblading, skincare, spray tans, and of course, massage services. Make an appointment and discover why you belong at Cabela's Salon and Spa.
Every morning the sun rises on our fair city. A while later, Chris, the late riser, wakens for a day of work and involvement in FSU and community, serving Tallahassee as he has for years. Across town, Brother Peter, the early riser, has already turned on the lights, checked itineraries, and game planned with loyal employees who've been showing up every day for decades. And as the day rolls into business mode, the brothers orchestrate what has come to be recognized as Tallahassee's premier auto dealership, your car dealer, Kraft Nissan.
Located in Midtown Tallahassee, Bella Bella Italian Restaurant is where you'll find delicious, authentic Italian food at an amazing price, served with impeccable attention while enjoying a unique, found only in Tallahassee ambiance. Every day, customers enjoy Bella Bella's signature appetizer, bubble bread, followed by one-of-a-kind specialties or a longtime favorite crafted only at Bella Bella. A Tallahassee landmark, Bella Bella is a family-owned and run business focused on traditional values with the highest standards. Come enjoy lunch, dinner, or the best happy hour in Tallahassee. At Bella Bella, we live up to our name and make sure your visit is truly one of beauty.
Welcome back to the show. And we just talked with Chris Dudley and Katie Webb. We even brought up the subject of Brian Pitts, a very outspoken, colorful character here in Tallahassee. A lot of folks know who he is, but they don't really know him.
Right, we talked about him on last week's show. And telling everyone that we were going to interview Brian Pitts for this week's show, kind of a special New Year's treat. For those of you who don't know who he is, he's a character, just like Chris Dudley said he is. He's very smart. You're going to find out that there are state lawmakers who find him incredibly intelligent and literally keep them on their toes.
You gave him some rapid fire stuff, and we'll get to that in a minute after this cut. But he's kind of he's got a lot to say.
He has a lot to say, as you're about to see, and he's actually a lot more interesting. If you've never talked to him, I really encourage you to stop him in the hallways at the Capitol, in between meetings, and talk to the guy. You will learn a lot.
Check it out.
For those of you who don't know him, Brian Pitts has been traveling to Tallahassee from South Florida for more than a decade now. He's arguably one of the most interesting people in the process. Lawmakers, lobbyists, and staff will tell you as much.
Well, quite frankly, I've been in the Senate, have seven terms, and my opinion of Mr. Pitts has changed dramatically. I have found him to be not only a very bright person, he does his homework, and I have come to greatly respect his opinion. At first, I questioned, whether or not that he was really on target. But what I have found is that of all the people that have appeared before us, he's always prepared. He knows the subject. He's done his homework. And doggone it, we should listen to him.
I don't know that he has clients for everything that he testifies on, but he is one of those folks who truly takes his civic duty to lobby his legislature seriously. Is he good for the process?
Listen, Brian is entertaining.
Yes.
He reads the staff analysis. He gets up,
He's well informed.
He's well informed. He makes good points, half the time.
Pitts represents a group called Justice to Jesus, and that's justice, the number 2, and Jesus. The name is rooted in the fact that there's only 2 people in the group. While Pitts comes to Tallahassee for every legislative session, he's not a hired lobbyist. He's just a concerned citizen who educates himself on every filed bill. He supports some, and some he does not. But many agree he's on top of every issue.
He's doing more of the sort of the pulpit, almost a bully pulpit on the citizen side.
Right.
Katie, have you ever encountered, have you been opposite Brian on an issue before?
No, I've never been opposite of Brian on an issue.
Never had the joy.
But I will say, whether or not he's a good thing or a bad thing in these meetings sort of depends on whether you want to kill something in that committee or if you want to pass something in the committee.
So he can be useful in that way.
Here's your chance to get to know the illustrious and colorful Brian Pitts, the person. Starting with where he came from and how his interesting life choices led him to be one of the most prolific speakers during Florida's annual legislative session.
From Pennsylvania, Philadelphia. That's all I know from there. Had a sister, mom, dad. I guess you say middle of the road, inner city, because we're talking about Philadelphia. Regular, typical family, middle class. So, not too poor, not too rich, but, fortunate enough to be able to get certain places.
Pitt says his childhood was loving, but now he realizes it was not traditional. He says his mother was very forward-thinking, planning for his future in a diverse world.
And they had to figure out how to do this. It's okay, we need you around many other cultures and people so you understand versus you only knowing Afro-American. Because I dealt with those Afro-American middle class and, of course, those that live in projects.
So his mother put him in a religious school led by Baptist.
What happened is I detached from them under that discipline and took my faith more serious. Because my family took it more of a show, profess, but not serious. Hypocritical. We see it all the time. But I took it serious, a bit too serious, to where they said, okay, you're getting cultic.
But then changed her mind about the Baptist, and Pitts went Catholic.
She says, okay, I'm gonna have to take you out of here. You're not learning anything there. They're having fights, teachers. So this was strange. She had put me in Roman Catholic school. I said, oh, and I said, different side of faith. I said, here it is, I'm getting the Roman Catholic. It's already no Baptist. Now I'm getting the Roman Catholic doctrines. I said, oh, this is interesting.
Pitt said the private school experience accelerated his life and therefore his post-high school life plan.
Obviously, what ends up happening, I get out high school 2 years early because of private school. So now I'm out a bit early, like, okay, now what? I mean, I'm thinking about college, but it's like, how do I get out early?
So now, what's a young Brian Pitts to do? The adventure begins, including some time in a cult, running a 900 number, and some work with real estate and mortgages.
I ran into a gathering called the International Churches of Christ. Now, at that time, in the 90s, that was the fastest growing evangelical church, which was known as a very militant, cultic, it was in media several times, that movement, in the negative, because people were committing suicide, things like that, and I was in it at that time. I'm out. I'm going into different ventures. So I was out around when he was doing the 900 number, the 1-900 numbers you would buy the one, and I got into that out the mortgage, when the mortgage lending before the mortgage fraud scam. It was a phase that went there where you did mortgage facilitating. And mortgage, you were the middleman, facilitator, things like that. I went into that.
And now we get into how Pitts made his way out of Pennsylvania. Not quite like this guy, but still on his way to Florida.
So what happened is I had a brother who I was in church with in the International Church of Christ. His parents very well off. They had a lot of dealings here in Florida. They had a residence in St. Pete Beach. I said, okay, yeah. Now we were looking to do a ministry. What happened is that didn't go well, and we had to go separate ways. In that, I says, okay, well, that's not work out. Let me go ahead and do some real estate investment here, okay? At that time, in 2001, 1999, most of Florida was recouping from the slumlord era. So I says, wow, look at all these properties, look very now hit their price. So I majored in 12 units to 40 units. So that's what I did in St. Pete. Bought 2 18 units and 1 12 unit. One was in Gulfport, 2 was in St. Petersburg. That's okay, this is what we're gonna do. Did not know that at that time, of course we all didn't know, that there was the mortgage fraud scheme was going on. I got a set of lenders that were doing it.
In case anybody missed it, there's a question in there that just popped into my head as I'm watching Brian Pitts.
I bet I know what it is because I know you.
What 900 number was this guy running?
So I actually did not ask him that. And in case you've ever never talked to him, he can get very long-winded. And as we were just going, it's not that I missed it, but I just decided I didn't want to ask.
How do you miss that?
Who would you talk to if you called your 900 number?
You call yourself a reporter, a
I
journalist?
know, but I've got to leave some things to the imagination.
He
So
brings up a 900 number and you don't ask?
I bet it's Miss Cleo. Or maybe it's like hypnosis
It's
for
probably
weight loss.
like a horoscope, right?
It could be. It could be horoscopes. It could be.
He'd be
Miss Cleo
perfect on a
show.
900 number, though, because especially if you pay by the minute, right?
Right.
And he's
going to
just
keep
keep
you
on. He's going to keep you rolling. He's
He
going to
could keep you on there for a while.
Yeah. Oh.
Yep. Very, very true. So, but
Good job on the interview. It was good.
He is an interesting, fascinating guy. Again, if you've never talked to him, stop him in the hallways, ask him a few questions, ask him anything about Florida statute. Florida statute. He can tell you all about it. He can tell you what it is today. He can tell you what it was 10 years ago. He can tell you whether or not it existed. He can tell you when it came into law. He knows everything. Kind of a trapdoor memory.
Well, that's all the Brian Pitts we have. That's all the Brian Burgess we have. That's all the Ann Howard we have for 2017. Thank you for watching the program. And we'll be back in 2018 with some new and exciting stuff. Thanks for watching and Happy New Year.